that cuts down the gas mileage. But you would think after almost 3 hours that he would certainly be below the half.
Sure, and going as fast as he is now, that's not certainly going to help his gas mileage there. Stu, where are we now?
We're in the Hacienda Heights area, but we will be in Rowland Heights here in just a moment. This pursuit just continues to get more and more bizarre. This is the first time we've seen these higher speeds. Again, don't know what changed. All of a sudden, this driving much more aggressively. The California Highway Patrol, they're the ones with the light. There's the helicopter right there. They took this over from the Sheriff's Department pretty early on when it was down in the Orange County area. And who was chasing to begin with is going to be the Southgate PD. They were behind this car for a long time before they actually relinquished the pursuit over to the California Highway Patrol. Now he's moving well over to the right, but I would just guess that is just to pass vehicles. So I'm kind of always hoping that he's going to get off the freeway and resume that kind of less dangerous driving where he's just, it sounds so bizarre to say it, just running red lights at a slow speed. But right now, we're still not quite, we're about 90 miles an hour. We're still eastbound on that 60 freeway. Rowland Heights is the area, and it just continues to just go and go and go. California Highway Patrol, they're not going to be able to pit it. They're not going to be able to throw any spike strips out in front of it, especially because of all the other traffic that's out here this evening. And there is a lot of maneuver if they were right there, but not at that high speed. So lucky. We've seen so many of those close calls and just blending into traffic. I can tell you that we are on Nogales. We're on Nogales right now, and it looks like we are southbound on Nogales. So weaving in and out of traffic, and again, Rowland Heights is the city we are definitely in, and southbound on Nogales. And you can see this vehicle not really slowing down that much. Sharp turn, making his way into another parking lot. This has always been very weird that he likes to cut through these parking lots. It doesn't really save anything. It puts a lot of other people, like those folks right there.
There we go.
There we go.
Let's see.
This is
the first time we've seen it.
There we go.
Foot bail.
Okay, the passenger stays behind.
And he's out for a run, and of course it's going to be in a spot where we're having a little bit of difficulty. But that being said, California Highway Patrol right there behind him, and it does look like he ran into a store. And you got another officer, very smart move, but hopefully he stops watching that back door as well. But the fact that the officers are that close behind, and look at it, look at all the folks deciding it's time to leave. There they go. Everybody running out of the 99-cent store. There you go. But you can wonder what's going on inside that store. And you did bring up something very interesting. That person, now that we have information, parolee at large, that makes things a little bit more desperate. That person definitely going back to jail one way or another. And if he has a weapon, this could be something very, very.
And you wonder if that's the case with all those people pouring out of there. Is there a way to see the vehicle there and see if the victim is still in the car? It looks like she stayed behind. That's the vehicle there. That you see the passenger side door is open, and she's sitting there.
The passenger side door is open.
Safe,
Right. And again, victim, somebody that was along for the ride, whatever the deal is, she's still in the vehicle right there. You can see the officer. All right, you can see them all. There's a lot of shoppers in that 99-cent store. Wow. But you can see other officers actually out there with weapons out. You can see a lot of weapons out. And so you got to wonder what is going on inside that store right now. I haven't heard anything. I haven't heard anything as far as, weapons seen or something along those lines. You can see it looks like a store employee calling other people to make their way out of the store. You can see them through the window.
Something in his hand. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Look
that's just a customer. Customer. And you can see a number of officers making their way into that.
Well, if you saw the body language earlier, you saw somebody come out and speak with officers looking to give them information. Now you see the officers on the left side, they're going aisle by aisle. It's a 99-cent store in Rowland Heights. This is the end of a police pursuit that's gone on for nearly 3 hours. The suspect bails, wanted for assault on the passenger inside the vehicle, left the car, went into this 99-cent store. We understand that the passenger...
Minutes ago is that police now, or investigators now know the identity of this person. So the person who was the driver of this car and then ran into the 99-cent store just now, we know the identity of that person. And it's encouraging because Before, they had no idea. And if you have no idea if this person runs, there's no way getting to that person. It makes it much more difficult. But if you have an identity, at least you have something to go off of, perhaps an address, perhaps friends, perhaps someone who knows him. Obviously, they got that information from someone.
See right there. Now I can say for sure the suspect is in custody. Didn't want to say it until we saw it. So there you go. Suspect in custody coming out of the 99-cent store in cuffs. That person that's in the passenger seat. Now officers are approaching that vehicle, starting to talk to that female that's been in the passenger seat. And for a moment there, just because they just don't know what's going on, they basically they had their weapons out. But now it looks like she's just in that front seat. We haven't heard the call yet for an ambulance. We're going to keep an ear on that. I know that one of the vehicles is there. Walnut Sheriff's Department has been notified. They're going to be here on scene as well. I think they were going to use them if this would have turned into some sort of standoff. But you can see suspect in custody. That passenger inside that car right now in that front seat. They don't see any aid being rendered, but it definitely no movement either. So not really sure what's going on there. Going to be sensitive to that situation. And but definitely that one in custody. There's the driver that's led us on this pursuit for hours this afternoon and evening. Now going in the back of that squad car, and as you said, parolee at large. Definitely going to probably be going back to some jail time. And again, because there's no movement and I don't see any aid being rendered, I'm going to stay a little bit wider until we figure out what's going on with the situation inside that Honda. That victim still, or that female, she was a victim of an assault.
You got to feel for her. I mean, she has had quite the ordeal. She has been in this vehicle at the hands of somebody assaulting her over and over again, verbally and physically, inside this car for 3 hours in a police pursuit. Can you imagine going through all those red lights, going through chain link fences, going the wrong way on the oncoming streets, and then going onto the sidewalk, and just the amount of sheer terror she has experienced today.
Yeah, you can see the CHP officers going through that car right